What is up, everybody? Back today with another video. In today's video, we were looking at two training sessions. One is pause deadlifts and some rack pulls and overhead press. And then on the other day, we did some squats and some tempo squats and some pause bench and close grip bench too. I'm gonna try and let a little bit of this video play, and I'll kind of come in when I need to and address some things. So as you can see from some of these sets of deadlift that we're going to be doing today, the pause is about halfway up the shins, in between, about halfway up the shins to the knee. Somewhere in there is the pause, and it's around a 1 or maybe a 1.5 count. The only reason I'm pausing is just to kind of make it a little tougher work on exploding through the lift. That's really about it for these today. Those last couple, I kind of tried to exaggerate the pause a little bit more. I don't know how well I kept that up, but worth a shot anyway. Some rack pulls. These today were at the knee, but I alternate between the two. And I'll do one or two sets a week at the knee, and then 1 or 2 sets at about mid shin, same as those pause deadlifts you saw. Recently I've been having a little trouble with my left hand. The calluses keep tearing and my grip is slowly giving out in that hand, and it's making it a little harder for me to hold on to the weight. So this last set of this, I threw on some straps just to kind of hopefully keep through them. Hopefully I'll have that all sorted out by about a week or so. Today on these overhead press, I tried to force my head through in the hole a little bit more to work on just that aspect of it, because that's something that I haven't done very well up to this point so far with overhead press. yes, better of the two squats today. I really enjoy squatting with both sleeves and no sleeves. I feel like with no sleeves, it allows me to control the weight more. But that's just from a personal standpoint. That's how I feel with the bar and the weight. But I don't feel like I'm per se I can go up as high with no sleeves. But at the same time, I know my squat feels better with no sleeves. So I try and throw in a day of no sleeve lifting at least once a week. Sometimes it's multiple sets a week on different days, just to kind of keep it in my repertoire, or keep it in my my week and in my lifting cycle and stuff. Today was 390 for 8 for 4 sets. I didn't say what I did on all my other lifts, but for deadlift it was 365 for 5 for, I think it was 4 sets. Overhead press was 160 for either 3 or 4 sets of 5, and then rack pulls were 5 at 315, 5 at 365, 5 at 405, and then today's workout was 390 for 8 for 4 again, and tempo squats. There's something new that I've been trying to incorporate more of, because I feel stability when I do them, and I feel like it really makes you engage more or recruit more muscle when you do it. So I've been doing tempo squats. I think today's were 3s at 245. I was kind of taxed from the 390 for 8, so I dropped the weight down. Usually it's 275 to 315 on tempo squats, but today I decided to go a little lighter because the volume for today was kind of interesting, we'll say. Something I've really been trying to improve on between squats and deadlift are when I'm going down on a squat, and when I'm starting from the starting position I'm going to be pulling from on a deadlift, especially conventional and even sometimes sumo. I've started kind of having to force my hips back when I start to align me in the proper position, because if I don't, what usually ends up happening is when I go to squat, I'll tip too far forward, and it creates a problem between my knees and my lower back that they just can't sustain that kind of load. So it's something I've been trying to adjust and fix while also progressing through my squats and my deadlift as well. But sumo, it doesn't seem like it's as much of a problem. Sumo, I can kind of find my position pretty well and be fairly far back and still pull very well. So times when I'm working out, especially doing tempo squats, they usually end up being harder on my legs, on my quads, and stability wise than just regular squats. So that's why I tend to do them. And here we are moving on to bench. Worked up to a 4x4 paused at 285 today, and then dropped it down about 225 and did close grip for 3 sets of 6 for just more bench work in total. These paused benches are supposed to be around a 2-second pause, but for the most part they usually end up being a 1 to a 1.5 second pause. When I really force it with a little lighter weight, I can pause for 2 to 3 seconds and probably get it a little easier, but with the weight that I chose today, I knew the pause was not going to be quite as long as normal, just because it would be a lot harder for me to pause it for the amount of time I'm supposed to and be able to continually use the same amount of weight. But I still think today I did a pretty good job of pausing regardless. Something that I've been trying to do rather forcefully when I'm benching is on the way down on the descent to try and keep my arms like from elbow to wrists in a straight line. I feel like I'm a little stronger in that position than I am in like either a wider or a closer position. I feel like right at arm straight, like from elbow to wrist in a straight line, is where I feel the strongest at. So that's what I've been trying to kind of make sure that I'm doing each set, each rep, and so on. This close grip bench today was right, I think it was probably about maybe a 3/4 of an inch to an inch outside of the knurls, the very first knurl on this bar. And that's usually where I try and do it, just to try and kind of keep the grip closer, but not incredibly close that it feels very uncomfortable when I do it. Thank you very much. Like, comment, and subscribe if you would like to. That's about it.